I always thought hiring a nanny would bring peace into my home. But the night I opened her bedroom door, everything I believed about my family shattered. I wasn't looking for trouble. I wasn't trying to spy. I just wanted to check on my son. But the second I saw what she hid behind that wardrobe, my heart stopped. It wasn't hers. It wasn't my son's. It wasn't even something a normal person would keep. It was something that changed the way I saw my husband, my marriage, and the woman I trusted inside my home. I didn't scream. I didn't run. I just stood there frozen, realizing I had no idea who I had invited to take care of my child. Please, watch this story till the end. You need to hear everything. I always believe danger comes like a storm, loud, chaotic, with signs you can't ignore. But the danger in my home grew silently, in whispered moments, soft footsteps, and a smile that seemed too perfect to question. When we hired Clara, I thought she was an answer to my exhaustion. A young woman with warm eyes and a gentle voice, someone my son instantly connected with. She felt like a blessing. I didn't realize she would become the very reason my marriage began to fall apart. The night I opened her bedroom door, I wasn't searching for answers. I wasn't even looking for trouble. I just wanted to check on my son, who wasn't in his room. But when I saw the wardrobe slightly open and Clara nowhere in sight, curiosity pulled me closer. And that's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a mistake. A simple object tucked behind her clothes. But the moment I reached out and touched it, a cold shiver ran through my entire body. It was a small velvet pouch, the exact pouch my husband used to keep his personal documents and spare keys. The same pouch he swore he never let anyone touch. What was it doing in the nanny's room? My mind spiraled with questions I wasn't ready to face. Why would she have it? How did she get it? What else was she hiding? I didn't take it out. I couldn't. It felt like the world would break open if I looked inside. So I closed the wardrobe quietly, stepped back, and pretended I hadn't seen anything. But inside, a storm had already started. For days, I watched Clara differently. I watched her when she tied my son's shoelaces, when she laughed at my husband's jokes, when she stayed late in the kitchen after everyone had gone to sleep. Little things started to feel wrong. She knew too much about my husband's schedule. She knew too much about our arguments. And she always seemed to appear whenever he was home. I tried to ignore it. Tried to tell myself I was overthinking. But the truth has a way of scratching at your chest until you pay attention. One evening, after dinner, I found her in the hallway, crying quietly. My son was asleep. My husband was in the living room, pretending not to notice. I asked her what was wrong, but she shook her head and wiped her tears, whispering, "Everything is fine. I promise." But her hands were shaking. Her voice was trembling. And for the first time, she looked afraid of me. That's when I realized something deeper was happening. Something my husband wasn't telling me. The breaking point came a week later. I walked into the kitchen and saw Clara standing too close to my husband, her arms wrapped around herself, his hand resting on her shoulder. He moved it away quickly when he noticed me, but not quickly enough. My heart didn't break. It froze. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I simply asked her to join me in her room for a private talk. When she sat on her bed, she looked like a child facing a punishment she didn't deserve. And suddenly, the anger inside me softened into something else. Fear. Confusion. A strange ache I couldn't place. "Clara," I said softly, "what are you hiding from me?" She didn't answer. She walked silently to her wardrobe, opened it, and pulled out the velvet pouch I had seen days ago. My hands trembled when I took it from her. Inside, there were no love letters, no secrets, no proof of an affair. Instead, there was a single ultrasound photo. A baby, 5 weeks old, and my husband's name written at the top. I felt the world tilt beneath my feet. Clara burst into tears and collapsed beside me, shaking so violently I could feel her pain through the air between us. "He told me not to tell you," she whispered. "He said he would handle it, that he didn't want to hurt you." But I didn't want to lie anymore. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't cry. I couldn't even think. The nanny I trusted, the girl who cared for my child, was carrying a child of her own. And it belonged to the man I had vowed my life to. Everything inside me cracked open in that moment. The betrayal wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, cold, precise, like a knife sliding between my ribs. I didn't confront my husband that night. I didn't scream or demand answers. I walked to my son's room, kissed his forehead, and sat beside him until the sun rose. Because sometimes the deepest pain comes not from what people do, but from what they hide. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you've ever experienced betrayal, heartbreak, or a truth that changed your life, you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more real, emotional stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support helps me keep creating the stories that heal, warn, and open our hearts.